Elara Voss had always been a tinkerer. From the moment her small hands could grip a wrench, she disassembled the family's old windmill, piecing it back together with dreams stitched into every gear. Born in the dusty hamlet of Eldridge Hollow, nestled between jagged peaks that seemed to mock human ambition, Elara's world was one of unyielding earth and unyielding expectations. Her father, a weathered farmer with calluses deeper than the ravines, often said, "Dreams are for the idle, girl. The soil doesn't care for what-ifs." Her mother, with eyes softened by endless harvests, would nod in quiet agreement, her hands forever stained with the red clay of their fields, but Elara's mind was a whirlwind of blueprints and sparks. At 12, she built her first contraption, a water wheel from scavenged barrels and bicycle chains that pumped twice the yield from their well. The villagers marveled, calling it the girl's folly, with half smiles, but her father saw only the risk, the time stolen from chores, the tools bent beyond repair. "Fix what's broken here first," he'd grumble, pointing to the cracked irrigation ditch. Yet, in the hush of midnight, when the owls whispered secrets to the wind, Elara would sneak to the barn, her lantern casting long shadows over sketches of machines that could till the soil without tiring backs or flying kites that carried messages over mountains. By 16, the weight of expectation had carved lines into her youthful face. Eldridge Hollow was a place where sons inherited plows and daughters, aprons. Elara's best friend, Tomas, son of the blacksmith, shared her fire for the mechanical. Together, they'd dream under starlit skies, Tomas hammering prototypes while Elara dreamed up efficiencies. "We'll build a harvester that frees us all," she'd say, her voice a defiant melody against the crickets' chorus. Tomas would laugh, his hammer strikes punctuating their plans like applause. But dreams, like fragile gears, grind to a halt under pressure. The turning point came with the Great Drought of 22. Crops withered like forgotten promises, and Eldridge Hollow teetered on famine's edge. The elders called a council in the town square, under the gnarled oak that had witnessed generations of pleas to indifferent skies. "We need innovation," one grizzled voice declared. Elara's heart leapt. She unveiled her masterpiece, the Aqua Forge, a solar-powered desalinator cobbled from mirrors, pipes, and a salvaged engine. It could pull moisture from the air, turning mist into sustenance for parched fields. The crowd murmured, some in awe, others in skepticism. "A child's toy," scoffed old Harlan, the miller, his words slicing sharper than scythes. Undeterred, Elara demonstrated it at dawn, the device humming to life as dew-kissed beams ignited its core. Water trickled forth, pure and promising. Cheers erupted, fleeting as morning fog. The council funded her, a meager pouch of coins, and sent her to the city of Riverton, home to the Grand Inventors Guild, to refine it. "Bring back salvation," her father said, his voice cracking like dry earth, pride warring with fear in his eyes. Riverton was a symphony of steel and steam, where spires pierced clouds and inventors bartered ideas like currency. Elara arrived wide-eyed, her Aqua Forge bundled in burlap like a pauper's gift. The guild's halls echoed with the whir of automatons and the hiss of pressurized valves. She registered timidly, her village drawl drawing snickers from polished apprentices in starched collars. "From the Hollows. How quaint," sneered Reginald Thorne, a prodigy with a silver tongue and a lineage of guild masters. His prototype, the Thorne Harvester, was the talk of the halls, a behemoth of brass gears promising to revolutionize agriculture. Elara's first presentation was a disaster. Nerves tangled her words, the prototype sputtered, leaking brine instead of fresh flow. Laughter rippled through the chamber like thorns. "Back to your mud pies, rustic," Reginald quipped, his cronies echoing the barb. Humiliation burned hotter than forge fires. That night, in a cramped attic rented with her last coins, Elara wept until dawn. "What am I doing here?" she whispered to the rafters, the city's relentless clamor mocking her solitude. Letters from home piled up unread, her mother's gentle encouragements, Tomas's sketches of improvements, her father's curt warnings to return. Doubt coiled around her like rusted wire, "You're no inventor. Just a farmer's daughter playing pretend," but echoes of resilience whispered back. She remembered the windmill's first triumphant spin, the water wheel's defiant gurgle against drought's grip. "Failure isn't the end," she told her reflection in a cracked mirror, "it's the blueprint for better." She tore apart the Aqua Forge, salvaging what worked, discarding the flawed. Days blurred into weeks of feverish toil, sourcing scrap from junkyards, bartering labor for rare alloys, poring over guild tomes by candlelight. Blisters bloomed on her palms, sleep became a luxury. Reginald's taunts haunted her corridors, but she channeled them into fuel, each jeer a hammer strike forging her resolve. Months in, progress flickered like a hesitant flame. The device purified air moisture with 60% efficiency, impressive, but not enough for guild standards. Then came the Innovation Gala, Riverton's pinnacle event, where prototypes vied for patronage. Elara entered, heart pounding against her ribs like a piston. Reginald's harvester dominated the floor, gleaming under crystal chandeliers, investors swarming like bees to nectar. Elara's booth was a shadow, a humble table, her machine veiled in cloth, surrounded by empty space. As the judging commenced, Reginald unveiled his creation with fanfare, a mechanical marvel that plowed, seeded, and harvested in synchronized grace. Applause thundered. Elara's turn arrived amid yawns and whispers. She unveiled the Aqua Forge, now sleeker, its panels etched with hollow motifs, vines twisting through circuits, a nod to roots that ran deep. "This isn't just a machine," she began, voice steady as mountain stone. "It's life from nothing. In Eldridge, drought steals hope. But hope isn't given, it's engineered. From mist we drank survival, from failure, we build eternity." She activated it. The hall fell silent as golden light danced across mirrors, drawing invisible vapor into visible streams. Water flowed, clear and copious, enough to irrigate a field thrice over. Gasps replaced murmurs. An investor, Lady Voss, no relation, but fate's wry wink, leaned forward. "How does it adapt to varying humidity?" Elara explained, her passion igniting the room. Adaptive sensors from salvaged weather vanes, self-cleaning filters inspired by river eddies. Questions cascaded. Reginald's smirk faltered. The judges deliberated under the gala's vaulted dome. Elara waited, pulse syncing with the tick of distant clocks. Whispers of her rustic ingenuity buzzed. When the verdict rang out, first prize, Elara Voss and the Aqua Forge, the hall erupted. She stood frozen, tears blurring the sea of faces, until Tomas's voice cut through from the crowd. He'd come unannounced, grinning like a fool. "Told you we'd free them all." Patronage flowed. Funds for scaling, guild apprenticeship, a lab in Riverton with a window framing the peaks that birthed her. But success's shine revealed its shadows. Reginald cornered her post-ceremony, eyes narrowed. "Luck, not skill. You'll rust out here." His words stung, a reminder that envy lurks in victory's wake. Elara met his gaze. "Luck is for those who quit. Skill is rebuilding after rust sets in." She walked away, head high, the echo of her heels a rhythm of unbowed steps. Returning to Eldridge, Elara brought more than machines, she brought proof. The Aqua Forges dotted the fields, mist-kissed miracles greening the hollow. Her father, plowing beside one, paused to wipe sweat, his eyes meeting hers. "You were right, girl. Dreams till deeper than any blade." Her mother hugged her fiercely, whispering, "We saw your light, even in the dark." Tomas, now partner in her fledgling forge, proposed under that ancient oak, his ring a gear etched with their shared sketches. "Build a life with me." Years wove forward like strong cables. Elara's inventions spread. Wind turbines for remote hamlets, irrigation drones for flood-prone vales. She mentored wide-eyed tinkerers, preaching, "The path unseen is the one worth forging." Doubt is your first prototype, test it, break it, rebuild. Riverton's guild halls, once echoing with scorn, now bore her name on plaques. Reginald. He faded into obscurity, his harvester gathering dust, a monument to unchecked pride. On quiet evenings, Elara climbed the ridge overlooking Eldridge, the mountains no longer mocking but majestic sentinels. She'd trace the scars on her hands, blisters turned badges, and listen to the wind's song, a chorus of what-ifs turned realities. Resilience wasn't absence of falls, it was the rise that followed, each stumble a step toward summit. In the echoes of her journey, she heard the truth. The greatest invention is the self, reforged in fire's embrace. And so, Elara Voss became legend, not for flawless triumphs, but for the messy, magnificent art of never surrendering the dream.